Yes, Mr. Chairman, we do call up the manager's amendment. And as I do that, I want to thank Senator Ossoff and his team for the work that they have done on this issue and getting this bill ready to go. I have grandchildren that are just turning 15, just turning 14, and just turning 3. And as I'm out and about with them, one of the things I get asked most by moms and dads of their friends, those children, is how in the world are we going to be able to protect children with what is happening in the virtual space? Because laws that we have in the physical space don't necessarily match up with what is going on in the virtual space. The presentation we had from the DEA on fentanyl and what is happening there is astounding. What we have heard, Senator Blumenthal and I have done so much work on addressing what parents are confronting online with child sexual abuse, with enticement, with the way these children are meeting drug dealers and sex predators. And Mr. Chairman, you've done so much on the CSAM issue. So the REPORT Act is there to help bolster protections for children in this virtual space. Now, several critical provisions, as you have just mentioned. First, as you said, increasing the fines imposed on the platforms that fail to report this child sex abuse to NCMEC. That is vitally important because there has got to be some pain inflicted on these platforms because they turn a blind eye and they don't do it. So increasing these penalties really does strengthen the platform's duty to report, which we have to make certain that they carry out that duty to report and ensure that they are doing their part to root out these bad actors. Additionally, the bill makes it clear that platforms must now report content that includes sex trafficking of children or enticement to NCMEC's cyber tip line. It addresses some concerns from my Democratic colleagues. We removed the requirement on imminent reporting, but of course you have that requirement in the CSAM bill. I think that's important. We removed that from this particular bill. Now, the REPORT Act also includes legislation that I had worked on last year, and I thank Senator Graham for his support on those efforts. The End Child Exploitation Act, which requires our online platforms to preserve the reports to NCMEC's cyber tip line for 1 year. Now, the reason we're doing this is because as we worked with law enforcement, what we found out was that the shorter time period did not give them time to get that information and move these cases to prosecution. So they needed the extra time, and the bill provides limited liability protections to certain vendors working to support NCMEC's operation, which would allow NCMEC to hire cloud vendors to store and transfer report contents to law enforcement. Again, another vital and important provision that we are putting in place. But I want to, again, thank Senator Ossoff and his team, and you and your team, Mr. Chairman, as well as Senator Graham. We look forward to moving this bill out today.
Thank you, Senator Blackburn. Senator Ossoff.